Hey there guys, my name is Dave. I'm a dancer with company Chameleon. Welcome back to anyone who's rejoining us. If you are new to these classes, welcome. Please know that we try to make these classes as accessible as we can for you guys, but given the current setup, there is a limit to what we can do on this front. So please feel free to adapt where necessary for your own space, your own capability, your time. This is just an offering for you guys to do as you wish with, so please feel free. As usual, we will put the details for the company at the bottom of the screen for you. You can go to any of these spots to check out all the other stuff that we've been doing over the past however many weeks it's been. Lockdown brain. As far as today's class goes, I would recommend taking a little bit of time before we crack on just to take a little stretch, a little warm up just for yourself. I'll be starting today with a short improv task. Nothing too complicated, just something for us to explore together, and then we will move through the usual setup. So take a little bit of time, grab what you need to before we get going, and we'll dive in. Okay guys, so just to get going, we're going to take a short improv to invite a bit more warmth, a bit more motion into our bodies. What I'd like you to think about is the various textures in the space around you. So as a very quick example, I've got quite a coarse, unforgiving carpet. I've got some thin, light curtains hanging on my windows, some soft cushions, etc. Find whatever textures you can in your space and just try and embody that with your improv. As we go, one other thing, we're just going to work on a sliding scale of intensity. So we'll start at 0, I'll call all this out for you. We're going to slowly work our way up to 10 and then reverse it back again, just so we're really getting warm, getting some heat going. That is it. So get comfortable in your space and I'll put some music on. Here we go.
So starting at an active 0, the intensity is 0, but we're still letting movement occur in the body. Making an easy transition up to 2. Making sure that we're crystal clear on exactly what texture and what part of our space is informing our movement. And the next transition up to 4. Still nice and easy, slightly less than half. Now up to a 6. If you notice your mind starting to wander, you're losing the task ever so slightly, then just draw your focus back. Up to an 8. Use your breath to fuel what you're doing. We're going to maintain 8, so allow your breath to help with that. speed up to 10. Maximum intensity. To use this next minute, this last minute, to gradually scale back down to a 0. Don't lose sight of the task and focus solely on the intensity. Don't focus so much on texture that you lose sight of the intensity.
So, moving swiftly on to our favourite part of class. If you want to grab a mat, now's the time to do so. We're going to go for 10 1-minute intervals with a 20-second rest in between each one. So, interval number 1, simple crunches. Number 2, just going to exchange the legs, like so. Number 3, we'll take our hands to a triangle shape, just underneath our bum. We'll raise the legs and twist the hips to face each side alternately at the top, like so. Number 4, we cycle, elbow to knee. Number 5, come to our hands, got some mountain climbers. Number 6 is a side plank. So here, we'll do it for a minute total, but 30 seconds on each side. So we come up to one side, 30 seconds, switch round, and then that's the minute. Number 7, we're going to come back to our backs, raise the legs, and just raise the upper body up to tap the feet. Number 8, we're going to hover the legs off and switch the feet. Last 2, we come back to a side plank, 30 seconds on each side again, only this time we add in some leg raises, making sure not to drop here. Last minute is just a plank. Don't worry if that was a bit quick, you'll see me going through it as well and I can talk you through it as we go. But let's go.
Okay guys, here we go, crunches. Keep a nice amount of space between your chin and your chest. Keep everything nice and open, don't close down. Fantastic, that's the first minute. Leg kicks. Now, you want to drive this from your core to save your hip flexors as much as possible. Engage your core and don't drive this from your hip flexors. Great. Oblique leg raises. Okay, you want to control this as much as possible. Resist the lowering of the pelvis down to the ground, and then resist the lowering of the feet down to the ground as well. Try as best as you can, guys, to keep pushing through these minutes. If you can't make it to the end of the minute, it's totally fine. Take a break, do what you need to do. Just try and pick it up as soon as you can. Mountain climbers. Okay, trying to keep a perfectly straight line between the backs of your heels and the top of your head. Even though this is a fast dynamic motion, you still want to try and maintain that straight line, that good alignment. That's it, guys, you're halfway. Just got to do the same again, that's all. Side plank, try as best as you can to keep everything in line, so don't let your hips drop, don't let your shoulders roll forwards or back, and keep your skull in line as well. really good stuff, guys. With these toe touches, try not to drive the action with momentum. You want to control the action so that you can slowly reach up towards your toes. Doing really well, guys. You've just got 3 minutes left. That's it. Here we go again, side plank with leg raises this time. Keep an eye on your hips, they will want to drop with these. Last minute, guys, just a plank. You can do this. Last minute. Fantastic, there you go, you're done, well done. Drop down to the floor, let all the tension go, rock your pelvis from side to side. And in 3 stages, we're just going to push up into a little cobra, then lower down, then a medium cobra, then lower down, and then finally into a full cobra. And you are done. Nice work. Right, we're going to move on to push-ups. So grab a little bit of water if you need, and we'll get going.
3 sets of 10. First set, hands directly under the shoulders, keeping the elbows in. We do 10 there, nice and slow and controlled. Bring the hands to a triangle shape. 10 in this place, again trying to draw the elbows in towards the sides of the body, not letting them flail out. Third set of 10, hands go wide, fingertips pointing the same way as your head, nice and controlled, down in the middle. We'll take a short pause in between each set of 10. Then, once that's done, once the first 30 are out of the way, we're going to go back to each place and do another 5. Aiming, if we can, to roll entirely through that last 15 without stopping. That's the tricky bit. If you have to stop, then do so. I tend to have to pause a little bit in the last 15, you know, it happens. But aim to go 5, 5, 5. Let's do it. Okay, last thing. This is it, just one more, and then we're done. Then we can say bye-bye conditioning. So, for a minute, just simple exchanging of lunges. Whichever foot is forward, that's the hand that you lightly tap the floor with. Just for a minute, we're going to exchange the legs, making sure to resist the lowering so we're not really dropping into the floor. The feet land and we control the lower. Just for a minute. 1 minute. That's it. Let's go. Brilliant, guys, good stuff. We're going to get to moving, so come to a kneeling position for me. Just sit on the flats of your feet. I'm going to take the right hand out to the floor, reaching as far out as we can, nice wide position, and then a second break, we're going to let the elbow drop down to the floor. You can let that have a bit of weight to it. So we go 1, 2, brilliant. As that second knock comes down, I'm going to allow my left foot to shoot out from under me. It's going to draw a nice big circle, and I'm just going to let the whole foot find the floor sequentially. So that was 1, 2, the leg goes out, I draw it in, the toes go down, I let the rest of the foot come down, and that's on the crossed side of my knee. So cross my legs, go. No. Start that again. Lovely, guys, very well done. We're going to get moving. So come to a kneeling position for me. Just going to sit flat down on our feet, starting off with the right hand. Going to let the body fall out to the right, catching the weight with a nice solid support here, and then a second drop with the elbow, again with that same kind of dead weight quality to it. So 2 knocks, 1, 2. With that second one, I'm going to allow my left leg to swing out around in a nice big arc, and I'm going to drop the entirety of the foot down sequentially on the other side of my right knee. So that leg comes around and it crosses over the knee. From there, I'm going to push back towards my legs with my right hand. As I do, I just find my chin to my knee, find that connection there. Next up, the right hand again is going to push the left foot away from my root. As it does, I let the right arm find an extension. Essentially, the foot and hand stay connected for a little while. This is just so you naturally find this blade of the arm into the floor to find a nice soft transition down. That's all that's there for. It goes so it's outstretched and it's already in the right place to embrace us into the floor, essentially. Let's recap. So, 1, 2, the leg comes round, allow the whole foot pressure down into the floor to find this connection here. Send that foot around to find a nice roll. So here, once this right foot left foot and right hand. Gone. I'm going to think about leaving this right hand where it is as I roll over. It will move slightly, but that's just so it's left behind me. And I'm thinking about the same thing with my right foot over here. So I've rolled and I end up with a nice big U shape in my body. And I'm just using that back foot to push my core, my pelvis, my centre away from the hand and foot. Sorry, that was a whole lot of talking. Hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully some of it makes sense. So I'm going to push this foot. The arm and leg go long. This right foot pushes our core and our centre away from our hand and foot that are going to try and stay where we are, just so we find that U shape. From there, we roll back the way we came. I'm going to keep my left leg long as it comes up. Yeah? So I find my back, I begin to sit up, my left leg is still long, and once my right knee has found the floor, I spin on it, still with that left leg long to the back. Let's recap all of that because that is too many words. So 2 drops. 1, 2, and the foot comes in front. Find the connection with the chin and the knee. Roll to find that U shape. We come back, bring the left leg long. I'm spinning on this right knee to find the right toes under, and the left leg is long to the back. I'll try and slow-mo that just once more, and then we will move on. The right arm and the left leg go long. Push away from yourself to find that curve. Come back. Sit up. The left leg is straight and it doesn't change. It keeps journeying around. Nice and long, one big circle. Let's carry on. From here, I push off this back right foot to join my feet together. I'm just in a little crouch. I'm going to let the knees drop to the floor. We go left, right, trying to keep our weight up and not collapse over when they do. So if I show you from the front, we're not going like this. I'm trying to stay lifted in here so that my legs can move independently of my core. So we're at the back, we've joined our feet together, lift up just enough to go left, right, and I'm going to dive into the floor and find this surface of my arms in the floor to control my body for the next moment. So, left knee, right knee. I'm lifting my legs up at the back. So right now I'm rocking on the very front of my pelvis. It's a little bit uncomfortable to stay there for too long, just to get the idea. That's what we're going for. Left knee, right knee. Find the floor with my forearms. I'm just going to drift my right leg out to the back so I can find the front of my pelvis flat on the floor. And I'm going to rock over onto my left side, and then pulling with my hands, I can find space to bring the legs through. If this isn't a way that you've moved in before, it can be a little strange to kind of compute. It's about finding a curve almost in the front of your pelvis and using that as the center point to kind of maneuver the rest of your body around. So my knees go down, I allow my legs to go off to the back, so my center point, my very core and my pelvis is on the floor. I move to the left side of my pelvis so I can manipulate my extremities. Again, lots of words. I hope this is making sense. If you're following the shapes, that's great. From here, let's carry on. The knees come in. Now I'm going to rock to my right and ideally stay in exactly the same position that I am here, just upside down. I'm using the backs of my upper arms into the floor to steady this as I go. So we found the front, the knees come up. We rock back, just a half and back. This time, all the way over. keep your arms at the ready here, because these rocks may not feel or look the same each time you go for them. There's a certain amount of negotiation that needs to happen. So keeping these arms at the ready and really adjusting the level of the level that you use them each time is good. Sometimes it'll happen quite naturally, sometimes you need to intervene and actively shift things to make it happen. Lovely, let's carry on. So, we've gone half a rock, a full rock over, knees drop, that causes my body to rock back, which causes the knees to come back. Simple as that, we go down, down, up. From here, pushing into the floor with both feet, I'm going to lead with my hips forwards and swipe the arms underneath myself to find my back here. So we've rocked over, the legs drop, I drop, the legs come back up. I push hips first and my hands are already behind me. So I find another nice big curve out towards the back. I plant the hands down and I'm going to swing both legs long to find just lying down on the floor. So, what I'm doing there, this is simple enough. We've led with the hips, plant both hands, and all this is a spin on the bum. That is all it is. All I'm trying to do is, whilst I'm spinning round, is lower both my legs and my back. So ideally, we find total relaxed on the floor at the end of the circular motion. Lots of words. So, lead with the hips, hands plant into the floor, I send my legs around. The plan is to not get here and then go down. The plan is to find this place as we reach that alignment. Hips go, hands go in. All in one. Brilliant, not much more, let's carry on. Elbows, again, into the floor, just to allow your upper body to come up. Root down with the hands, so use these arms and these hands to drive what's going to happen below. Left leg long, to the right, send the leg, and this is exactly the same idea as what we just did into the lying down position. It's a spin on your butt that shifts slowly over onto the left side of your hips and ends, ideally, in a little fetal position. I'm going to go all the way back to the top. So, off to the right, we go 1, 2, we free the leg, plant the foot, connect with the knee. Push that leg off, curve in the body here, swing the left leg long. Brilliant, once we're here, push off this back foot, leave space, left knee, right knee. Find that bowl into the floor to bring the legs to the front. Good. Knees in, rock halfway, keep the arms at the ready, and all the way over. Good. 1, 2, 3, up. Hands in, swing the legs to the floor. Elbows help our upper body up. Plant the hands, we go 1, to spin, to down. Cool, okay. Thank you very much for putting up with my blabbering there. Hopefully you've been able to decipher my words and figure out what in the hell I'm talking about. If I haven't been clear enough, please roll back. If not, here we go. Okay guys, we're going to come to standing for this phrase. Going to start off facing the front, step out on our left foot, drive the fingertips up towards the ceiling, over the head, and across to our right side. Step out on the left, fingertips come up, drawing the lower arm up through my midline. I pull the elbow out towards the front so I can duck the arm over my head, and I bring the arm across with the lower arm having changed alignments like this. Goes up, over, down. As it comes back, I'm catching my elbow with the back of my hand to stop the arm dead from moving, and I'm dropping down into a low parallel. So just that much, we step, the arm comes over the head, and we drop down nice and low with a lot of power down in that arm. So next, I'm going to pull that same arm across my body with my left hand. So the left hand gives the impetus, it crosses my body, and when I find the maximum twist that I can here, I'm going to bring my back leg, my right leg, across to the same corner that we stepped to in the beginning. The arm comes back, we pull, causes a twist, the extent of that twist lifts up that leg and brings it all the way around with a flexed foot. Once it's there, it swings down like a nice big cloche, and I'm going to drop down to my right knee. So I catch my toes behind me and my knee goes down. Just that much together. Arm goes up and over, we catch it, knock, twist, nice to come down. From here, we're going to try and leave the left foot as far in front of us as we can. The right leg, swung down to find the floor, and I'm going to outstretch my body towards the back. My left hand has gone down into the floor to brace myself, and I'm trying to find a nice long line from the toes up to the top of my head. As my head is moving to complete this line, I'm just going to let my right hand catch the back of my skull, and then this whole right arm is going to pull me back forwards. So in motion, come from here, the leg goes, it goes down, it pulls us back, I catch the head, to pull it back forwards. Yep. All of that from the top. Fingertips up, over the head and down, catch it, pull, leg, long line, bring the head forwards. Lovely. Okay, so from there, as we're moving forwards, left hand is going to go into the floor, followed by right hand, and I'm just going to exchange the legs. This should be nice and soft, nice and easy. There's no need to ramp any leg up, just let the legs drift. So I pull my head forwards, left hand into the ground, my left hand into the floor, right leg is the first one to go up, and I let everything swap over to gather up to face the back. Just one more time that. We've pulled ourselves forwards, the left hand is the first one to go into the floor, and the right leg goes up first. We should have our left foot back now. We gather the right up towards it, and as I do, I'm letting my right shoulder just connect with my chin, like so. Yeah. From the top. Fingertips go up, the head goes under and across. Pull the arm, the leg goes. Find a long line before you bring your skull back. Change the hands and the legs. Gather up. Brilliant. Nice. Okay, let's keep going. From there, we've gathered up and we've found this connection here between our chin and our right shoulder. I'm going to send my shoulder, my head, and my elbows down in a nice arc round to my right. So I've gathered up. I send my head, my shoulder, and my elbows, and I let the arms wrap around me. So feet stay planted, I let the twist happen in my legs. I don't go any further with my legs. Once that twist is there, that's complete. And I just finish the motion off by letting the arms twist round to the other side. So we're just contorting everything in one long twist. We've gathered up, we send it, we reverse it by pulling on the arms. It's quite entertaining, this. Well, I find it entertaining anyway. We've twisted down. The basic motion is we're reversing this action here, so we find another twist and the leg's just on the other side. What you can do is help your body around by actually actively engaging in your arms and giving yourself a twist. And you'll find a strange kind of momentum in it. Feels quite nice. So, we've gathered up, twisted down, pull yourself away with your arms to find that twist. When you find the maximum twist possible, you've really come out of that as far as you can. Feet split, drop down into a nice low crouch, just like so. Should we roll back? Let's. So we step on the left, arm goes on its journey, we catch, leg one, leg two, catch the skull, bring it forwards, changing over, gather up, dive down, change, to drop down. Wicked, okay. Moving on, I'm going to let my left knee drop down to the floor. I'm going to swing my right knee to find a parallel with it, just to face my top corner. Simple as that. We're almost there, there's not much more. Left knee goes down, and I twist to find my right knee in parallel with it. From here, my toes are tucked. What I'm going to do is let my body drop down towards the floor, and when I get so far that it becomes hard to control, I let the underside, or the top side rather, of my arms brace into the floor to help me. So I'm going to drop my upper body back. Here I'm really bracing down into the floor. I allow enough space to let my legs go, and when my heels hit the ground, my body comes up and I bring my feet back under me. Okay, just that. We've dropped down to here, left knee goes down, my right knee joins it, my toes are tucked. I fall back, I find the floor with the back of my shoulder girdle, I lift my hips ever so slightly to allow the legs to fall out. This is what bracing down into the floor will help with. If you've got the push down into the floor this way, then you'll be able to find the space to let your legs go. I come back and find the floor, I find my legs and my body comes up. Last moment here, once you're up, just take your weight off the floor to get those legs back in. I'm going to carry on. There's 3 moves left and then we'll go through it once more all together. We've gathered the legs in, similar to my last solo class, which was a few weeks back now. My right hand goes down. I'm going to send back with my left hand and send my right foot first. Voila. So again, options here. Basically, if you really boil it down, it's just 2 steps. Right, left. So there's your option 1. Option 2, you can bring in a bit more elevation to it. Option 3, aim for a straight back little flip motion. At the end of the day though, it's just 2 steps, right then left. After we've done that, my left foot is forwards. This is it, last 2 moments. I'm going to send my left arm round to the front. As I do, I find a twist. I'll hop my way through this so it's a bit clearer. Reaching towards that back right foot. I swing the arm, I turn, I turn, I turn. I find the front and I slow the turn down. So I'm going to drive into the floor with my left heel and I'm going to use this cross in the body to really force the turn to slow and stop. And then before we move off anywhere else, I'm going to send that right elevated leg back round the other way. So you get 1 turn that should stop,
and then another turn straight away the other way. Fingers crossed I can demonstrate this for you. So, I've brought the legs under me, I come back, my left foot is forward, I turn, and I go back the other way. Oh, that went remarkably well. Okay, voila, that's it. That last moment, guys, the heel down and this cross. Allow this leg to cross past you and actively try and twist against it. That kind of conflicting directions will just help settle that moment and steady it. Let's roll all the way through from the top, and then it's there for you guys to try the music. So, stepping down to the left corner. Catch, 2 legs, 1, 2. Long line, pull the skull forwards to switch over, gather up. Down to the floor, twisting up. Knee, knee, 1, 2. Gather the feet, reach back. Left foot forwards, turn 1. Stop it, turn 2. Hey, there we go, nice. As usual, you know the drill. If you need to go back, please do so. If not, let's try it. Okay, last thing we're going to do, we are going to take phrase 1, the floor phrase, and phrase 2, the standing phrase, and mush them together, roll through both as one thing. There's just a couple tiny changes before we get to that point. So in the first phrase, which is now the beginning of this phrase, 2 changes. First of all, where are we? When we get to this moment, we're going to rock all the way over. So there's now no half tilt, then full roll. We just bring the knees up, roll straight over to the other side. Yep. Second change. This is all the same. This is the same. From here, guys, instead of coming up to elbows and having our little leg swings here, we're going to push with the elbows into the floor to softly find this place. But we're not going to stay here, we're going to move straight through it. So we go like so. Bracing down into the floor with my left toes, my left forearm, and sending my right leg up. I'm going to let it dip underneath me, post it through the gap. I turn to face the back corner, and I turn to the front diagonal to start what is now the second half of one phrase. Just that little bit again. We've come from our backs, we've spun all the way around and found the entirety of our backspace on the floor. Elbows go to down, find a nice extension here. Let this start from the foot, so really point that foot at the top. I'm sure you've got a better point than mine. And let those toes dip underneath. Yep. All you've got to do then is let the spiral that's happening in your body continue naturally to come up to a knee and a foot, to then reverse back to the front. That's it. Okay. Give it a little try, and then we'll go with some music. One thing. Let's do it.
Guys, thank you very much for joining me. That's it for today. Hopefully we will see you again next week. Both Juliana and myself will be back for another mixed class. Big thank you to Arbol and the other artists on the Free Music Archive that we've used for this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's session and hopefully see you again next week. See you later.